Welcome back to another session of Python. We are dealing with Pandas, that is data analysis library. It is very powerful. Am I audible to you, Gautami? Gautami, am I audible?
Yes.
Okay, fine. Actually, in this data handling use Pandas, we are going to see some extensional ideas about Pandas. What are the different stuffs that we are going to see? Particularly, I have introduced you some of the ideas about descriptive statistics in the beginning itself. When I was talking about data handling, I gave you introduction about data descriptive statistics. Descriptive statistics is not something that only a statistician should know about, but every individual who is interested in computer and interested in programming, they must know about that. That is a fundamental idea about statistics. A branch of mathematics that deals with collecting, interpreting, organizing and interpretation of data. It is nothing but statistics, collection of data, interpreting and drawing some meaning. That is everything manual. Paper and pen will be done, human will be involved. If you want to do the repetitive activity, repetitively, you need the labor to perform the operation. That is our normal. Without any computer, if we think about statistics, it is like that. Okay. Historically, we were using during World War II and all, they were collecting a lot of statistics. They will interpret and they will take proper decision. Everything was thousands and thousands where people were involved. Nowadays, whatever is happening, everything is not, human labor is very less. We are automating. Descriptive statistics involves summarizing and organizing the data so that it can be easily understood. So, descriptive statistics is somewhat organized summary of the data. Organized summary of the data. Instead of giving you a lot of explanations, you may forget. For example, if I say, I conducted one test, Narsima took this much. When I took, Gautami took, Somashekar, Manoj, this one, these are all descriptions. If I say who is the first one, I am talking about a organized summary data. That will be more useful for you. I can tell you one student, who is the student who performed least, something I can say. Instead of telling you individual details, I can say the average performance of your examination was this much percentage. All these things are nothing but descriptive statistics. Organized summary that you are drawing from the given data. How, what, why, that is what we are going to see little bit. After that, we are going to use all about Pandas. You know max function already. You know that max function is drawing the maximum value of a set of data. If you specify a particular column or an axis, you can draw what is the maximum value of a particular column. Merely, if you know max function is with the same name, it is part of core Python also, standard library. It doesn't need any object. Directly, for example, you have a list object. You are asking what is the maximum value in that list. Directly we will give the object inside the max function. But here if you see the syntax, df within square bracket column name dot max. Max function is, this is a different max function. Maybe functionality is same, but this definition of max function is part of the data frame object. It is part of data frame object. Now if you talk about what is the maximum value of every column, you can specify axis 0. If you specify axis 1, it has the maximum value of every row. Say for example, if you are taking, already you know this data structure, you know this TCS, LNT, some column names are there, some row names are there, labels has been already given. How to create, you can observe the structure of the dictionary the way we have created. And after creating the data frame, merely we are asking what is the Wipro columns max value. In quarter 1 how much, in quarter 2 how much, in quarter 3 how much. It says that Wipro is having 4 quarters. When we compare all the values, maximum value is 3600. That is what we are getting as an individual value. Now, if I ask axis 0, I am talking about Give me maximum value of every column. Column wise, you find out the maximum value. In TCS column, in Wipro column, in L&T column, what is the maximum? If you take the TCS column 3000, Wipro column 2800, 3600, 35,000 is L&T column. That is what we are getting output. So, either you can specify a specific column for calculation purpose in program, you will find out the data and you will do some calculation. In that scenario, you will be specifying column name. But many of the time, if you want to display the summary data, that is descriptive statistics, in that scenario, you will not use the column name, you will use axis. Either you will go with row by axis or column by axis. You got it now? It is very simple. Very much similar to that one. Min function. It will return you the minimum value. There is no syntactical difference between min and max function. We know that. It will find out the maximum value, it will find out the minimum value. What are the functionalities, how to use, everything is very much similar. You don't need any explanation. If you know one thing, you can find out. Now what we have done is, axis 0 we have given. Min function is returning the least values. Now if you observe the TCS column, 2000 is 2 times. Wipro is having only one least value. L&T is having only one least value. It says any one least value will be displayed. How some complicated data processing requires, if the repetition is there, what are those? One did cover out that one. We can do that. In Pandas we can do that one also. Now count. The third function is returns the number of values present in a column of a data frame or series. What is this count? Number of values. That means number of data items. Count the number of data items available in a particular column or in a particular axis or a row. Now you see, in TCS we know four quarters are there. Everything is output is what? 4 quarters. By means of a particular column you can access, or you can access by means of a axis value. Axis 0 means column wise it is finding out you. But the output is not in column wise. TCS, Wipro, L&T. In the downside, no, it is not like that. Output is different structure. Who is returning this type of structure? The count function is doing. Max function is also giving like that. Min function is also giving that. Column function will become labels of rows, and the value will become another column. That is the structure we are seeing. We should not confuse that TCS, Wipro, L&T was a column name, how it became row name. It is not the data that we have altered, just we have summarized. Whatever the runs data that is holding, the object runs in our program, whatever it is holding, we can say it is source. By means of descriptive statistical methods, we processed and we summarized. Summary will be usually results or output. Summary will be usually called as results or output, that we are interested about. Raw data, source data, we are not interested. That's why we need Pandas and Python and all these things. Fine. Now, Gautami, are you able to follow? I hope now you are able to manage somewhat. Gautami, my speaker is slow or what? Okay, fine. I hope she is able to follow. And also, if you remember, mean is also a function. It is also part of descriptive stat. Mean, median, mode, standard deviation, variance, all the standard grade 8 to 10, whatever we are teaching in mathematics for our students, it is actually branch of mathematics. We know that. And is there any difference between mean function, max function, count function, mean function? Standard format is there. If we know one format, we can apply all. But the results will be different. Output will be different. Mean function will not give you the way the max function is giving. Maybe because given data structure may be different, output will be different. Now if you find out a particular column, it says, now axis is equal to not 0, axis is equal to 1. Row wise data has been taken. So TCS, Wipro and L&T, what is the average of the quarter 1? Something has been displayed. In quarter 2, what is the average? Quarter 3, what is the average? We don't say average in descriptive statistics, we say mean value. We say mean value. This is what we are seeing. If you have changed this one to axis 0, it could have found out the average of TCS, company wise. So if I want to, why we say descriptive statistics, you can describe by sentence. The results can be described in a sentence. I want to find out the mean value of sales, something we can think it the data as sales data. We want to find out the means of data quarter wise, means like this, irrespective of the company. Irrespective of the company means output is this one. I'm not interested with this one. I can say in a descriptive manner, I need the average of each company irrespective of quarters, including all the quarters. Means axis should be what? 0. Usually what will happen in a company situation, the boss or a superior officer that you are working under, he will not be interested in Python and Pandas. Most of the time he will be telling you in sentence. We want to analyze the various data like this. So we have to understand why we say descriptive statistics. It describes a lot of facts. So if how much you are comprehending your boss idea, that much you will be writing the code. If you don't understand what he is trying to ask you, you will be interpreting wrongly and you are not giving the required result. Got it? No? Data and information processing is timely. Why? Because he may require in 20 minutes, in 15 minutes I need this one, in 10 minutes I need, means immediately you have to coding, you have to find out the data. This is the output. You have to analyze. Now sum. This is also descriptive. Summing means adding up all the values, data items. Either you can add up all the quarter values or you can add a company wise. What is the total sales, for example. If you take a column 0, company wise we have found out the total of TCS sales, Wipro sales and L&T sale. In a descriptive manner I can say that I need the total sales of this year, a particular year, irrespective of the companies. Or otherwise I can say for all companies I need the total sales amount. Means this is the way. If I'm saying I need quarter wise, company wise, I need the total sales, means you have to modify that. Axis 1. That is row wise totally. Now just in this stage I am stopping you. Please don't be, we should not be childish, right? If I am saying axis 0, quarter wise it is adding up, row wise it is adding, column wise. Requirement is not like that. Simultaneously I need both. Simultaneously I need both the sum of the rows and columns. Some function is not doing like that, right? Some function is not doing. So what you have to do? You have to reprocess the data structure. Get the first result, axis 0 result, axis 1 result, create a new data frame that will accommodate both. Results is, most of the time results are not further processed. Very few data, results are becoming input to another system. See, we are developing a system or software, we are feeding data. The program or software is processing and it is producing some descriptions, summary. That summary will not become, in most of the cases, as input to another system where it will process the summary and it will give you another kind of output. You understood, na? Output can become input also. One system's output can become input to another system. Not in all cases. But in summary, most of the time not. because it itself is a summary data. Why I am saying you combine all? Because we are not going to process further. We can create a structure where the total things will be created beautifully, and we can give, whenever you are thinking about data frame, what are all the things that you are doing in an Excel sheet, more than that you can do, means you have to find out the ways, right? Yeah. Now median, it is used to return middle value of median of a given set of numbers. Middle value. Exactly, always the data will not be having a middle value. Always I will not give you 11 value where 6 will be a middle value. It's not possible always, right? 5 value this time, 5 value that time. I will give 55.5, 1005, 10,090. Find out the median, means I have to go with the statistical method. What is the middle value given among all the data items? What is the use of median in statistics? How I am going to use it is up to you. Practical use is up to you. But how you are going to use in Python using Pandas, that's the subject matter we are concerned about. Now, using the median is also not different from any other descriptive statistical functions supported by Pandas. Now you see, now you are finding out axis 0. Median value of axis 0 means column wise. 2500, 2000, 3000, 2000. What is the median value? 2250. What will be the middle value among all these values? If you have studied descriptive statistics, you will first divide the points like graph. After that, you will put some values. And after that, you will find out. We don't need to do. We have ready-made functions. Median. The idea you understood now. That's why I suggested you before also. Again, I am repeating. If you are really interested about Pandas and NumPy for statistical and data science, you have first understand statistics. That is backbone of data science, and the idea that you can make yourself empowered. Where you can start, the standard material is again NCERT material. NCERT grade 11 and grade 12 statistics books are available, which is free to download. If you are thorough with the concepts, any idea you can understand in future, because you know the all kinds of statistical processing. You are comfortable. For Vinay, Soma, Shekhar, for Manoj, and also for Gautami, I can suggest. I don't know, maybe Gautami studied statistics as part of her degrees, but just I am suggesting. For the next mode, what is the mode? Most repeated value of a given set of numbers. Mode is, what is the data item that is repeated most of the time? The frequency of occurrence of a particular data item will be most. That data item will be the mode value. That data item will be the mode value. See, for example, in TCS, what is the value repeated? 2000. 2000, right? What is the Wipro? Wipro, what is the repeated value? 2400. What is in L&T? 2100. How many times? Frequency also you can find out. How many times it is occurring using mode function. This is quartile value. Quartile is something quarterly, right? Narasimha? The quartile is taken from the word quantile, and the word quantile taken from the quantity. Quantity, quantile, we are now calling it as quartile in statistics. What do you mean by that? 0.35 quartile states that 35% of the observations in the data set are below a given line. It also states that there are 65% remaining observations are above the line. See, for example, this is somewhat research related. Observation means it is nothing but related to a guy is involved in a research. A research means you should not think is a big word. If you want to be a data scientist, obviously you have to perform research. If you are analyzing, you are semi-researcher. If you are performing the operation of analysis of data, if you are a business analytic, what are you doing? You are all the time you are analyzing. You want to find out facts. So you are inventing, you are researching and finding out. Finding it itself is what? Research. So you should not think that research is a very big word. No, in our context it is a normal word to use here. Now in the observation, 0.35 quantile means you have to multiply by 100. multiply by 100 to find out the percentage. Something 0.5 quantile states means something is above the line, something is below the line. 100 means obviously 35% means remaining is 65. Yeah, maximum is 0 to 100. This is now you can see little bit they are elaborating. Quartiles in statistics are values that divide your data into quarters. Suppose we have series of numbers from A to B. Then we divide it mid, say C point. The middle of the values C. Now again we divide it between A and C, then C and B. It is becoming 25%. What we have done is 100% is divided into 4 means obviously each part is referring to 25% or 0.25 quartile. 0.25 quartile. Now let's understand the quartile. Now we can say, see that series is divided into 4 equal parts. Q1 is first quartile, Q2 is second quartile, Q3 is third quartile. Now first quartile is 25th percent, second quartile is 50th percent, the third one is 75th. Actually the point A is referring to 0th percent, B is referring to 100%, right? Yeah. Also known as median. The middle of the quartile is called as median. We know that already. We know the concept of median. Median means in a set of given series of values, a particular value will be there. That is the middle value of. How do you manually, if you calculate by means of paper and pencil, how do you calculate the median value? Add up all the values, divide that number by total number of values. Total number of values. That will give you the middle value. That will give you the middle value. Somewhat it is taking like mean. But mean and median is not same. It is not same. Mean and median is not same values. Find out quartiles. There are methods are there that we have to apply here. Let us take example. Suppose we have numbers -1, 3, 4, 7, 8, 9. These are all the given data items. Arrange the data item in ascending order. Already it is in ascending order. Minus value is the smallest one. So it is in increasing order, we can say. Count total number of observation. Say, what is the total number of observation? 7. The total number of observation is 7. Find out first quartile Q1, 25%, say 0.25, also called 25th percentile. How to find out? Q1 is round. Function round means already a mathematical function is the round function. Round the value. Round the value. 0.25 n plus 1 equal to around 0.25, 7 plus 1. Around how many values are there? 7 values, 8. So 2 it means second observation is it means 0.5 is how much? 0.4, 4 is 1, 2. It means second observation is 3. Second observation is 3. Now, if you why you are saying like this? Now you see, calculate second quartile, 50%, 0.5 or 50th percentile for the given data items. How can you find out? 0.5, 7 items are there. 7.1 equal to how much? 8. 8.5, fourth observation. So fourth observation. What is the data item? Fourth. 1, 2, 3, 0. Fourth is 7. Got it now? Observation. Observation means here in quartile, please for simplicity, don't go for that much in depth. Just you think that it refers to somewhat like index number, starting 1. Not starting from. Observation refers to index number, somewhat like index number. Index number starts from 1, not starting from 0. Now, third quartile, 75% you want to calculate. How can you calculate? 7 items are there. 0.7, sixth observation is 8. The item is 8 is the 75th. How to find out all these things? How to find out all these things? You don't need to do anything. It will tell you, only quantile function will help you to find out. Quantile function is supported by the data frame. And you have to tell what are the things you want to find out. 1 means 100%. 1 means 100%. 0.25, 0.5, 0.75 and 1 you are finding out. Based on axis 0, column wise you are finding out. Column wise means what? 2500 TCS by TCS, Wipro, L&T. You want to find out the quartile. Okay. Now if you calculate, it will tell you 0.25. What is the value in TCS? 2000 and Wipro 2400. In L&T, how it is calculating? Go to the previous page. Go to the previous page. How we are calculating? Number of round function is rounding up. Rounding up means fraction part will be removed, only integer part will be taken. That is rounding. Rounding operation means what in mathematics? Removing the fractions, taking the integer, whole numbers only. Now what you did, which quartile you are interested about, multiply that by which value? Number of observation plus 1. Number of observation plus 1. Whatever you are getting the value, go to that one as a index value starting from 1, find out the number, the actual data. What is quartiles? Here we don't say quartiles, it is, we call it as, the function is not here in mathematics and business. Most of the time they will say quartile value, but here it is called as quantile value. The function is not quartile, it is quantile. You got the idea, na? Quantile, what we are talking about. It is also just we are giving you a 4-line and 3-column of data. In real life, it will not be this much small. Functionality will be the same, but the source of the data that you want to process, that is you loaded into a data frame, it will be huge. It will be huge data item. Now, again another descriptive statistics, variance. What do you mean by variance? I will give numbers, a data from column rows. It is used to return the variance of a given set of numbers, a data frame, column, rows. Anything. You can find out variance. Var function. Variance, var function. It is also not any way different from any other descriptive stat functions. Starting from max, mean, count, median, mode. Now just we saw quantile. All the functions are having the same one. Structure, syntax you don't need to memorize. Remember only one. Apply for everything. But you have to remember the name. Even if you forgot the name of the function, in Spider it will suggest you the name. You can go through and you can immediately find out what is, this is, instead of var you found out variance, you typed full variance. There is no such function. Immediately you can, by the code completion window, you can find out automatically it is suggesting you, right? As soon as df dot means, immediately it will show you code completion suggestions. It is called as code completion suggestions. Now you see, variance has been according to, because it is column wise variance you want to find out, that is displayed. In business also variance value is used extensively. In business calculations, a variance value is extensively used for various decision making purposes. After that is standard deviation. Something, deviation means changing. Some standard deviation is available in between a set of data items. To find out what is that deviation, we have to go for standard deviation function. The standard deviation function is just STD. Just it is STD function. Now you see, by means of 0, if I want to find out what is the deviation from one data item to another data item, by means of average, what is the difference? Standard deviation is what? This is also a decision making for business purpose. In business analytics we are using. What is the standard deviation? As long as in business is concerned, how much is differing from one quarter to another quarter? Say for example, what is the average difference of business improvement? In quarter 1, I sold it for 2 billion. In quarter 3, 5 billion. In quarter 5, every 3 months sales or income. Something you can say profit. Now you want to find out the standard deviation. What is the average improvement every quarters or every, what is the fall of our business every quarter wise? It will tell you the fact. Business decisions are, you are aware of the fact that business decisions are not taken merely by 1 day or 2 day. Even recently the Paytm owner, the owner of the Paytm was weeping, he was crying. I lost in 1 week something like $50 million, something he was crying. Why? A wrong decision made him to loss. It doesn't mean that he has lost his company itself or he is not going to close the company. No, it will be ups and downs. Business income and decisions are analyzed on an annual basis, yearly basis. Whether it is continuously doing like that or it is not continuously doing. Some lost businesses will also continue for another 5 years by taking loans from the bank. They will attempt to re-establish the business and they know that the business is in loss, again they will continue. In such scenario, you have to find out the negative value of the difference of the sales or profit. Say for example, if we consider it as a profit figures, this is standard deviation is helpful for us. And again, the idea of group by. What is this group by function? Again, I can tell you, group by function, the idea is taken from the database concepts. Database concepts. Group by functions involves one of the following operations on the data frame. Splitting the data frame, one operation. Applying a function, usually an aggregate function. Aggregate function means you understand aggregation in mathematics and descriptive statistics. Aggregation means mean, median, mode, variance, standard deviation, all are aggregate functions. A function that operates on multiple values and produces a single value is called as aggregate function. Summing, lot of values you need, but the result will be what? A single data item. Mean, same thing. Mode, same thing. Got it now? That is called as in a computer we usually use in database also we use the same name, aggregate functions. It is performing a aggregation operation. Summing up and summing means don't think addition. Summing up. Meeting is summed up. Okay, sum up the points means what do you mean by that? Combine, come to one conclusion. All those type of functions are called as aggregate functions. Combining the results. Multiple results are there. I just told you. You have column wise result, you have row wise result. Combine. Is it possible? In many ways, group by function can help you. Now, pictorially they are explaining you some of the ideas. Now you see key data is shown. If you split, you can split based on the key values. You can splitting the data frame. Like this if you want. Based on the key value, you can categorize. All the A's are one side, B's are one side, C's are one side. Now, for example, applying the aggregate function, find out the sum. Means what is the meaning? Data 4 and 1, 5. If you want to find out the average, 2.5. If you want to find the mean, median, standard deviation of the data item, all are aggregate function. By means of group by function. Group by function is a very big, powerful function by the way. You can apply the aggregate function. Third point I told you, combining the results. Now you want to combine. Multiple results are available for you. Some related results you want to combine and you want to create a new data frame. That is also possible by group by function. So what are the things you can do? Splitting, applying aggregate functions and again combining. So as a simple thing you remember split, combine. Either break or unite. Both things can do group by. Apart from this break and combine or unite, it can do aggregate function activities. Fine? Yeah. Now A, B, C, D, E, A, B, the frame that I gave you in the pictorial representation, it has been associated with some data. Now you are saying group by key, sum up. Group by key, sum up. Based on key values, group the data, find out the sum. Means multiple A's are there, B's are there, C's are there. All are first, it will be categorized, splitted. After that, A's total will be found out. B's total will be found out because A key represents multiple values. Now result will be like this. Now please try to understand. Group by function key dot sum. Group by function is not performing the summing operation. Sum operation as usual, the aggregate function that we know in the descriptive statistics is the one who is performing the sum operation. So what is the work of group by function? Group by function is grouping based on the data. Split and give proper structure. So it is not performing the aggregation. Okay. This is one simple example. Now take this one. Program to group the data city wise and find out the maximum temperature according to the city, max value. Now somebody is saying 1 month temperature of various metropolitan cities of India has been recorded in the data. Please list out all the data for the month of July. What is the maximum temperature in Bangalore, Chennai, Hyderabad, Visakhapatnam, something like that you can ask. Now what is the code? Now first you focus the data, date, city, temp, humidity. What is these things going to be? Column values. Column headings. All the data is going to be column values. A date value will be, all that list will be the date values. Then city means all that city will be the list will be the column value of city. You understood now the data structure, the way we have created using what it is called as a dictionary structure. Yeah. Now group by city. First you group by all the data has to be grouped according to city. After grouping the city, apply the function max. Now it will give you like this. City, what are the columns available? Date, city, temp, humidity. All these things are repeated in the result. Everything has been repeated. But all the values are not repeated. Wherever the temp is highest, there the humidity and the date has been repeated. Got it now? For if you take the Chennai data, two data is there, 30 to 34 temperature. 34 is max. If you take Delhi, 28, 30, 30 is max. If you take Mumbai, 20 to 24, 24 is max. So that's what we have got as output. And the corresponding humidity value has also been displayed. And the corresponding date on which the temperature occurred is also repeated. So it means that you didn't say repeat me this. Only you said group by city. Sum up, find out the maximum value according to that one. It found out the maximum temperature. Sorting, ordering, organizing the data, either in ascending order or in the ascending order. Say sort values, sort index. Which one you want to do? You have to use accordingly. Values mean data item you want to sort. Index if you want to sort, you can sort. Say think about the index, column index, and because of the flexibility provided by the data frame, it is not fixed values. If it is fixed value, we don't need sorting the column index value. Do we need? It will be 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Every time it will be the same thing. Will you going to sort that one? You are not going to sort. But here it is flexible. Index is a separate array that is maintained internally by the data frame and by its parent Pandas package. Because of that one, sometime quarterly values, quarter 1, quarter 4, quarter 3, quarter 1, something which is not in order means you will sort that order. The row index or in column index. To sort the data of a given column in ascending or descending order, the structure is sort values by call name, ascending true or false, in place true or false. How many parameters, how many arguments you are giving? 3 arguments are there. 3 arguments are there. Please also note that sort values is a function or method, particularly we have to say methods, supported by the data frame object. Please note that it is not an independent function or method. By means what? Given column name on which you want to perform sorting. Every column you cannot sort. You have to take some particular column, you have to sort. For example, you have created a data frame, name of the roll number, name of the student, mark 1, mark 2, mark 3. You will not be sorting based on mark 1, mark 2, mark 3. It is not meaningful. Either you will be sorting based on roll number or by alphabetical order, name of the student. So you have to specify the name of the student column. So what will be the column that will make the data information more readable and more easy to understand? That column will be sorting. Got it now? If you have a customer table, the same thing. Customer ID, customer name, customer city, customer contact number, something you will be sorting based on the customer mobile number. Will it give any meaning? No, it will not. Most of the time, if we have one list, what's your name? Sanoj. Okay, immediately, yes, where is? Okay, 3. Okay, Sanoj is here. Why we need sorted? Because searching and locating will be easy. Not only for human mind, for computer also, random access. When it is searching data, if it is organized data, fastest search operation will happen. Something called as binary search. Even if you have billions of data, you want to find out a particular person, it will not be searching record by record. There are some tools and techniques are there. In 4 or 5 times, it will check and it will locate the data. Such type of operations are called as binary search. If you are interested what is the procedure of binary search, you can search in the internet. You can understand the idea of binary search. What I am trying to tell you is binary search requires sorted data. Binary search requires sorted data. Why we need sorted data? Easy search and locate the particular information that you are in need of. For not only for human being, for computer also needed, that one is required. Computer also can perform better very rapidly. If you give, for example, 1 billion record, it may take some lot of millions of times it has to process the data. But if it is in an organized way, in a sorted way, in a milli or nanosecond, in 1,000 times, if you divide a second, how much it is a small second? That much second computer will take and it will locate the data. This is possible. You are experiencing in Google, it will tell you 1,22,000 results has been fetched for you in 0.35 seconds. The request is going from you to American or somewhere computer. It is searching its database, locating the data that you are searching about, and after that it is giving you. How? Obviously the data is organized. Data is organized. So why I am giving you emphasis today? Because I didn't discuss much about sorting. Okay. By name of the column. By what column you want to sort. And whether you want to go in increasing order or in decreasing order, you will be specifying ascending equal to true means ascending order. That is the default value. If you make it false, obviously it will become decreasing order. Biggest one, smallest last. What is this in place? Something it is confusing. You have to give focus to. By default, in place is false. It is also a Boolean value. Either true or false in place. It means if you do not want to create a new data frame, then set its value as true. Now you understood. In place, by default in place is false. It means if you do not want to create a new data frame, then set its value as true. If you set in place, what will happen? To true. If it is in place is false, what will happen? Just a little bit indulge. What do you mean by this? What they are actually trying to tell? See, your original data frame is there. Data is modified. Index will modify because you are sorting. First record will become the third will become first because you have to order the column. Whether you want to do in place without creating a new frame, the existing frame itself will be modified, reshuffling. Reshuffling of the rows and columns will take place within the frame. In place equal to true. In place equal to false means the original will be as it is, it will be undisturbed. A new data will be created where all the sorted list will be available. If it is a billions of record, we will not afford to create one in memory again equal to that one in another memory. Better we will go with in place. Otherwise, if it is small data, we will not go with in place. Most of the time, sorted record will be a result. It is not a source data. For example, what I am saying, you are running a business and you are maintaining some data about your customers. Now, you need a alphabetical order. You need a alphabetical order. After 10 days, if you see your customer list, another 150 customers has been added newly. Their name is according to a sorting order. Somewhere it will find the place. The old data result is invalid. Again you have to reprocess. That's why I am saying it is a result. It's a result. Source will not change. Source means the data based on which you created that result. That is the source data. That is the source data. Yeah. Understood now in place? In place. Whether you want to perform the operation within or outside. Outside means a new frame will be created. Within means without creating, the existing will be modified. Existing will be modified. Sort data frame ascending order of a column. Sort values column name or sort values column by equal to column name. If you don't specify all the two because it is having default values. If you want, you can specify. If you don't want, you don't specify. Most of the time, ascending is equal to true, in place is equal to true. So what it means, simply you can supply only the column name of the data frame df which you are using to sort the data based on, and it will be in ascending order and no new frame will be created. The existing frame will be modified. Got it now? If you use like this, what will happen? It will happen like that. Now you see, employee ID, employee name, date of joining. You want to sort according to employee name. If you search Sachin, Vinod, Lakbir Singh, Umid Ali, Rajesh Mishra, Uma Selvi, something. Now you are sorting. It will be L, J, K, M, R, S, T, U, V, W, X. It is in alphabetical order. It is in alphabetical order. And also you can observe that DF equal to DF. DF equal to DF. They are not using a new data frame, just they are using the same data frame. The same object will be referring to. Sort data frame descending order. What is ascending equal to? False, or you can set it to 0. Now if it is ascending, how will be? We know opposite. Whatever you got, that will be the opposite. To sort data frame based on multiple column. Here you have to focus. First, you have a customer database table. Customer name, city, date of birth, mobile contact address, etc. etc. is there. You need first all the Bangalore customers should be displayed. Within that Bangalore customers, that all the customers should be in alphabetical order, not the overall table. First club the Bangalore customers. In that Bangalore customer, the names should be in alphabetical order. After that, go to Visakhapatnam customers, club together that alphabet. So it means that the Bangalore first customer may start from A, the name. If you go to, for example, 1500th record or line, the first record of Visakhapatnam, that name may also start from A. It doesn't mean that it is not in alphabetical order, because you have used multiple column sorting. First sort by city, then sort by the name of the customer. Means the result will be how? It will be like this only. You understood now what is the requirement? If you have a customer table, you need first the data should be organized based on the city that the customers are belonging. After that, based on that particular city, all the customers should be sorted out. So A to Z of a particular city, A to Z of another city, A to Z of another city, it will be like this if you use more than one column to sort out. Now how can you do that? Just you have to supply a list value. What are the name of the columns? If you have any number of columns, just mention the column separated by comma within the square bracket. Because call value, by value will accept only one value. You cannot give call 1, call 2, call 3 simply. You have to put it in a list. List is a one single data item. List is a single data item. Ascending true or false. Again, the same thing. How it is? Again, it is a list value. Whether the first column should be in ascending order or descending order. Second column should be ascending order or descending order. You have to mention that. So, two list values has to be supplied. Now you see, by percentage and roll number. First percentage wise you sort out. After that roll number wise you sort out. What is the ascending order? Percentage should be increasing order. But roll number should be what? Decreasing order. Big number should be first. Big number should be first. Is it like that? First ascending 55, 64, 70. Increasing order is there. After that, the roll number has been sorted out. It is 104, 103, 102, 109, 105. If you observe here, it is not that much meaningful. Because our data is not having any meaningful here. The way I told you, if you apply, then you can practically understand what is the use of assorting a data frame based on more than one column. Based on more than one column. Now, for example, let me give an academic example. I have the student database where I need based on three columns. All the student should be sorted based on their city where they are coming from. After that, their name should be sorted. After that, their date of birth should be sorted out, so that I can have in every city who is the youngest, who is the oldest, something I can find out. So this is multiple column sorting. This is the meaning. Here it is not that much meaningful. Roll number is not meaningful, but this result will be like this. Result will be like this. Now, if you do not want to modify your data frame after sorting, simply in place equal to, if you do not want to create a new data frame, what you have to do? In place equal to true. So what is its default value? False is the default value. Now by default in place is false. By default in place is false. So far we created a data frame. Now we don't create any data frame. Simply in place equal to true. If you create that one, even you don't need to specify that df equal to df. You don't need. In place equal to true means what will happen? Data will be sorted. Data frame is modified. If you print, the first print and the next print will not be same. In first print out df will be 1. In second print, I am telling you don't use that df equal to, you don't use. Because in place is true. In place is true. So the data frame is modified. Why I need to create another data frame? I don't need. Actually wrongly they have typed that. Fine? Yeah. Now you see, after sorting.
No in the DF. DF not created.
Yes.
DF equal DF. Not
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is not available. Correct, Vinay? Now what happened? First df it has printed because it is just you created the data frame. Second, you said that percentage based on percentage and roll number. Two columns you have to use. First should be in increasing, second should be in decreasing. In place equal to true. After that, you want to try to print the df. Df is having what? Nothing.
Not creating the new data.
Yeah, it is not creating the new data frame. Now, if you are modifying the data frame, the same thing will be. If you don't assign that one, what will happen? If you didn't assign, what will be the result? Modified result could have been displayed. Because you unnecessarily you in one way you sorted and you assigned the value to a df, it is not returning anything, so df is destroyed. Df is destroyed. If you didn't give df equal to means what could have happened? Df could have been intact. Df could have been intact. Now sort index value. What is this sort? Sort data based on index values. By what is the value? Usually it is none. Ascending true or false. In place true or false. This sort index and sort values are both having the three parameters. In the first sort values, only one parameter is mandatorily required. Another two is default by default. One is a true value, another one is false value. You can make use of that. Make use of that. In place by ascending, you know all. Now take one example program to sort the data from frame based on index in ascending order. What is the index values they have given? 5, 4, 2, 3, 1, 0. What is the order? Descending order. Now a re-index has been introduced. Are you able to see the statement? df re-index. By default it has created a row index number. Now you re-indexed that. How you re-indexed? In a different order you re-indexed. Now you are saying that you print me, say obviously that 0, 1, 2, 3 is gone and 5, 4, 2, 3, 1, 0 something, a different order has been created. It is not in a proper order. It's not in a proper order. Now you are asking sort index. It refers to row index. It refers to row index. Now, fifth row is Pankaj. It has gone to last row because it is ordered. It is ordered. Now, Akash is 0th. It was previously last. Now it has become first because index has been ordered. Index has been ordered. Okay. Gautami, are you able to follow? Gautami, we are not able to hear your voice. Any problem in your mic system? Okay, fine. If you are able to listen, fine. And now, based on index in descending order, how can you do that? Descend equal to false. That's it. Now, this in place equal to index in place. Now you are doing rename index has been given. Index, are you able to see? Rename. df rename index 0 first name, second name, third name. Are you able to see? Now what is this one?
Index value.
How many columns is going to be? Employee ID, employee name, date of joining. The way they have given the row name is not meaningful because it is confusing you. Employee name is there, first name, last name, and middle name. It is not meaningful. The way they have given row 1, row 2, row 3, something you can imagine like that. How can you give that? Supply in a dictionary format. Supply in a dictionary format. What is the name of the function? Rename function. Index equal to, index is the parameter of rename function. Index is the parameter of the rename function. What is the parameter? Index 0 should become first name, 1 become second name, third name become the second one. How it understands? You have to give in the form of a dictionary. It can understand. Who can understand? Rename function can understand that. After renaming, it will be like this output. First name, second name, third name. But 0, 1, 2 has been modified. 3, 4, 5 didn't modify, right? It is intact. It didn't change. It didn't change. Deleting index. Reset index drop method is used to delete the index in a data frame. Df reset index dot drop index in place optional. That is the syntax. Now if you go through, there is a employee ID, employee name, data, joining is that. Now you created a employee ID based. What is the use of this one using mosquitoes? Now we have created a data frame. Now you observe the reset index method. Based on the reset index method, on the top you are calling the drop function. Drop method. Drop method index 2, 3. Now you are doing two operations. Two operations you are doing. What you are doing? Reset the index by dropping 2, 3. Now what happened? 2, 3 is gone. 0, 1, 4, 5 is there. Now 0, 1, 4, 5 is available. That is the data, the index, it will be available after dropping. What is this? What are we doing here now?
Deleting index. Deleting.
Is it really deleting index? Is it really deleting index? Deleting the whole data. Referring,
Deleting index number.
how? No.
Data row index.
See,
So row index will be deleted.
row index 2 is deleted, 3 is deleted. Lakbir Anand Ganesh is available in the result. In DF1, the new data frame that you have created.
So what will let us
Actually, what it means that based on the given data index number, some rows are avoided to create a new data frame. That is actually what is happening. The name is misleading. Sometimes it will be a drop means already deleted from DF. Now the DF1 is created. Something you will data frame after deleting the indexes. Now pivoting and aggregation. Pivoting operation in Excel also it is supported. Pivoting is also coming from the what it is database concept only. It is also coming from database system. It is old age methodologies that we are.
pivot tables?
Yeah. How it is?
Sir, I think I don't know why it's working on Excel spreadsheets. It's using on spreadsheets, pivot table.
Yeah.
Like business service.
Yeah, pivoting is there. Ready-madely it is doing. In Excel, you have some simple commands to create a pivoting operation. All the database management systems like Oracle, MySQL, etc. is supporting some query commands where you can perform the pivoting of the data. What is pivoting? You have to understand first. Pivoting is one of the important aspect of data analysis. It is a aspect of data analysis. It is used to summarize large amount of data and permit us to access important records from a large set of data. Pivoting is a tool in our hand for data analysis. It is to summarize a huge data and figure out the important data from those. Sometimes summary itself will be exhaustive, right? Sometimes summary itself will be what? Exhaustive. Now, for example, if I take the academic example, I can give a business example. Now the grade 10 result is going to be announced by the CBSE board. After that, they want to display the summary information. What is the summary information? In block wise in every district, who are the toppers? Summary information.
Yes.
In one district, not one block is there. The educational district is divided into multiple blocks, 10 blocks, 15 blocks. Now if you take the whole state, how many blocks will be there? So summary itself is little bit exhaustive. Maybe 10 or 10 lakh students who has written, you may be giving me a record of summary, but itself is having 5,000 record. So in that scenario, the summary data you want to analyze, which block is the best one, which block is the worst one, who is deviating from the average, something you want to analyze. In that scenario, what you can do? You can pivot the data. Pivot, point number one, useful for data analysis. It can summarize you and it can help you locate the important data that you are worried about. How? Python Pandas provides two functions for pivoting. Pivot table. What are the two functions? Pivot and a pivot table. First you will take the pivot function. Pivot allows to transform or reshape the data frame based on the column values according to our perspective. It takes three arguments: index, columns and values. Now, if you don't understand the explanation, we can take some pictorial representation here. Here team runs are there given. Some IPL team has been mentioned. In 2018, MI team 2500 runs. 2019 MI was 2650. Similarly, 2018 RCB, 2018 again CSK, some values are there. Now you want to transform the data like this. How? In year, which team? This is not that much useful. Lot of data rows will be available. Year, team, what are the runs? Year, teams, what are the runs? This is nothing but something called as pivoting. See how we have transformed the data? That's why I told you we should not be childish, right? Every time thinking about data in the form of rows and columns. No. We have to transform like this also. All these values are index. What is MI, RCB, CSK are column names. Actually it was not column name. It was a particular column values in the table. The runs you are talking about, nothing but a column. Years, nothing but a column. But in the new data, one particular team column has become row values, or it has become the column headings, and another column, years column, has become a particular column value. Again it is not column value, we can say it is for us row label. It's somewhat row label. Runs are data items. It is in a single column, but it is in multiple column and multiple rows, right? How it is arranged? It is called as pivoting. It is called as pivoting or pivoting, you can call it as. And now we can give attention to the programming. Now there is a dictionary called as year, team, runs. Already you know this table is on the top. Same. Now what do you want to do? Pivot. Please try to understand, pivot function is not a part of data frame. It is part of what? Pandas. It is general format. General function supported by the PD package. It is part of the PDs. So PD.pivot, not DF.pivot. First parameter is which data frame is holding all the data information, the raw data. Second one, index equal to year. Index equal to year. Which one you want to make as row index? That column name you have to mention. Which column you want to make as column names? You have to mention that column name. Which one will become the table's data, the whole data? It is runs. Because of this one, the PV table has been created. If you print, it will print like this. It will print like this. Where is this team has gone? It says team is CSK, MI, RCB. And the year is 2018. Actually, it should not be like this. One column, it has to be dumb. It is not doing that. In the output, it is not doing that. It has to be one side. One alignment should be this side. Now you tell me. You give me one example where you can have like this one data and you can create pivot table. Give me one example. Pivot table is somewhat little bit creativity. You have to choose the right data where meaningfully you can create a pivot. All the data cannot be presented in pivot form. It will not be that much relevant to you. Give me another example. Maybe 3 columns are there. These columns are there. I can create the row index like this, column index like this, and data will be this column and it will be presented in pivot form. Give me one example. Tell me, Somashekar. Hey, yeah, this one
like marks.
Oh, okay. Tell me how. Even in my mind was also because most of the time in my college I am giving academic exam. Yes, that was the thing in my mind also going on. Okay, tell me how. What are the name of the columns?
First one the student's name.
Name.
Then one the marks. Marks 1, marks 2, marks 3.
Okay.
The total will be the
Aggregate. Aggregate you can apply in pivot table, but as of now I am not using any aggregate here. Now tell me.
the student name is the column.
Okay.
Marks is the values.
Okay.
Subjects wise.
Hmm. You are trying, but you are little bit confused, Somashekar. Actually, how it will be? Roll number, marks. Roll number, marks. Otherwise, we can call it as roll number, subject, marks. Roll number. For example, 101, subject 1, 100. 101, subject 2, 98. 101, same roll number I'm talking about. Maybe 5 subjects will be there, na? 101, subject 3, 55. 101, subject 5, 90. Now, like this, many students are there. How you can create a pivot table? All the subjects' name will be column heading. Subject 1, subject 2, subject 3, subject 4, subject 5. Roll numbers will be row index. Only one time it will come, 101. All the marks will become data. All the marks will become data. 101, subject 1, subject 2, subject 3, subject 4. 102, subject 1, subject. You understood now? So, pivot table. Now, I gave you the what it is called as already I have given a data frame called as okay. I have a table in income tax office. I have a table. The company ID, company name, quarter name, total profit. How many columns are there? 4. Now I need a pivot table based on this one. Meaningful pivot table is possible. Company ID, company name, quarter name, profit in that particular quarter. Meaningfully, if you want to create a pivot table based on this data, what will be? Column 1 is company ID, something ABCD something. Column 2 is company name. Column 3 is quarter name. Quarter 1, quarter 2, quarter 3, quarter 4, something, any one out of 4. After that, total profit. After that, Total profit. I need a pivot table so that I can have a summary information about all the companies in Bangalore city. What will be the columns? Which will become the row index? Which column will become the row index in pivot table?
Company ID is the row index.
Okay.
Company name is the column.
Okay.
Quarter values are also columns.
You said quarter value and now you are saying quarter is also column value. Which one is exactly? Only one you can specify in the function, right? Any one you have to mention. Pivot function will accept only one column name.
Company ID is the index.
Okay.
Quarter values are the columns.
Okay.
Then total will be the values.
Which one?
Quarter values are quarter values.
Profits. Yeah, yes, nice. Actually, little bit if you want, because we need information, customer, just to confuse you, I added the customer company ID.
Yes.
It will be more better if we are giving row index will be company name. The column IDs will be quarter name, quarter 1, quarter 2, quarter 3, quarter 4. The values will be profit. Values will be TCS quarter 1, TCS quarter 2, TCS quarter 3, TCS quarter 4. Like that you can refer in pivot table. It's a game of merely a single function in Pandas. Pivot operation is achieved by means of a single function. Now moving on, pivot table function. With this I will complete and tomorrow we will continue. Pivot. Please go through all the functions. All the functions are easy, but little bit give more focus to pivot and pivot table in this lesson. All those things are very easy to understand. And also in place, that also you experiment. You know the in place argument. In place true, in place false. What actually happening? Because it is behind the scenes something happening means you may get confused. You have to write the program, get the output and find out the answer. Pivot table. We know that pivot method takes at least two column names as parameters, the index and the column names named parameters. Index refers to row name, columns refers to column name. What will happen if we have multiple rows with the same values for these columns? What will happen? See, you understood what is pivot table, right? In pivot table, what are the values you can specify? What is the data frame that you want to process? One argument. What should be the row index? One column name. Actually, it is the source column name. Source is there, destination is there. Destination is the pivot table. Source is something you have. One column will become row index. Another column will become column index. All this data is contained in data frame that you will give. But the question now is, what will happen if we have multiple rows with the same name, same values for these columns? The pivot table method come to solve this problem. How, what, why? Now you see the table. It works like pivot, but it aggregates the values from rows with multiplicate entries for the specified column. Means apply aggregate function specified by us. Say for example, by default pivot table apply mean function to aggregate the values from rows and with duplicate entries for a specified column. First you take the table before going to pivot, before going to duplicate values. Now date is there, humidity, already you know this table. Date, humidity, temperature and city. In a particular date, some lower temperature is there, some higher temperature. The extreme temperature, the lowest possible temperature that happened on that particular day. In Delhi. 2 times you need Delhi? No. If I specify what is the temperature and what is the city means, what will happen? 2 times Delhi. 2 times Mumbai. Chennai. It will come 2 times. Because duplicate values are there. What we have to do? Apply the means. 28 plus 30, it will become 58. The average is how much? 29. It has to display 29. It has to display 29. The average temperature is, in pivot table, we will not say min max, we will go with the average temperature of the day. This is the thing we are doing with the pivot table function. Pivot table. Most of the time we will go with pivot. If we have duplicate values for a particular column which has to become the index of the pivot table for rows, if it is having duplicate value, rows cannot be duplicate. Meaningless. Again it will be confusion. It is not giving me summary information. Pivot table has to give me help me 3 points I told you. Pivot table should help me to perform data analysis. It has to summarize the data. Easily it has to facilitate me to locate the important data. 3 points I told you. Pivot table is repeating means should I take more energy and I have given 5 rows here. If it is 50,000 rows, what will happen? 1 lakh records. Duplications are there. I have to search a particular record. Now, how we can specify? DF index city values temp. By default, what is the duplicate values will happen? Average will be found out. Now, DF index city values temp. Pivot table will be like this: Chennai, Delhi, Mumbai. Now, maximum you want. You don't need average. Don't take that average and all. Find out what is the maximum temperature you display. Only one value. Max means automatically how many value? Among all these value, only one value. For that one, you have to add one additional argument called as agfunc, aggregate function. Agfunc equal to max. Don't put parentheses there. It means that you want to call the max function. But it doesn't mean that you have to put parentheses there. Max, parentheses, call this function. No. Just to mention the name of the function. Max, min, mode, median. Just you have to specify the name. That's it. The pivot table function is clever enough to understand what you are actually trying to tell. Got it now? Agfunc means what? Aggregate function. Which aggregate function has to be applied when duplicate values are found? Max function has to be applied. Do you specify the opening and closing parentheses? No, we don't specify. Only the name of the function we specify. Now you see, it will become 30, 24, 34. Entirely altogether a different output. Got it now? Yeah. Now, program to print data frame on date index and city column. Now, date is there, city is there, temperature is there, humidity is there. Index is date. Column should be what? Date. Column should be city. Column should be city. In that particular date, in that city, what is the mean temperature? Because you didn't specify aggregate function, right? So automatically what it will mean? By default it will mean mean function. If you don't specify the aggregate function. If you specify, that function will be called. Now you take not a number or missing values. It will happen like this. City is Chennai, Delhi, Mumbai, Chennai, Delhi, Mumbai. Date is 1/2019, 1/2/12019. Duplicate has been avoided in date. No to date has been repeated. That is safe. But column is what? Column is repeated. Chennai is 2 times. Mumbai is Delhi is 2 times. Okay. So far whatever you have written the code, it will be giving you the output like this. Because row index should be date column. Column title should be city column. Like this output is available. Missing values and filling and dropping. What you can do? Some interesting functions are already we know. Missing values are there, filling and dropping. Either you can drop altogether or you can fill with some meaningful information. In many cases, the data that we receive from many sources may not be perfect. I told you, we don't have programming languages where directly the languages are supporting missing values. No, like these libraries are supporting. That directly language is not supporting. You cannot have missing value in a array. Say for example in C, C++, Java, etc. That means that there may be some missing data. For example, in given program where employee name is missing in one row and date of joining is missing in another row. And not a number, nan value is supported by numpy. It is available as a constant. You can use np nan. Np nan means I don't know. I don't know means np nan, not a number. Now how many nans are there? In one particular area, in 104 employee name is missing, 105 date of joining is missing. Missing values are there in this table. When we convert the data into data frame, the missing data is represented by nan, not a number. Nan is a default marker for the missing value. Nan is the default marker for a missing value. Following data frame we will consider. There are some functions are there. Fill now function, fill nan value, fill now function. Method to replace nan or na value by a specified value. Say for example, you have employee ID, missing values are there, you created a data frame, df fillna 0. Just you call the fillna function on. Fillna means what? Fill the nan values not available or nan values with zeros or with a specific value. If you call it, it will be filled with specific values. Please try to understand, technically, programmatically, nan values are very useful for us because programmatically we can identify and can process. But if you are producing a output for a user, nan refers to in Python not a number means will it be a, it is a user friendly method? No, it is, they will think that he is stupid, he don't know anything, how he has given date. So we are going with this type of mechanism. Now, but this is not useful as it is filling any type of column with 0. Blindly it is filling, blindly it is filling the values. We can fill each column with a different value by passing the column name and value to be used to fill that column. Simply fillna 0 means what it has. All the nan values has been replaced by 0 in a particular data frame. For example, to fill employee name with name missing, date of joining 0000, something useful you can display there. So meaningfully you can display. How can you achieve that? Fill now. Again you have to supply a dictionary. Key should be name of the column and what should be the missing value. E name, name missing, date of joining 000040, month, date and year. Now output will be like this. Name missing. Usually name missing means also they will put that angle bracket. Within angle bracket they will put. Easily you can identify, okay, name missing. Most of the missing data they will put it in angle bracket. If we do not want any missing data and want to remove those rows having NA or NaN values, then we can use drop na method. Not available or NaN values can be altogether avoided. Altogether it can be avoided. How can you do that? Just you say drop na. The drop na will be dropping all the rows wherever it finds a single NaN value. In any column it can find out. Immediately it will drop. This is what in the code we are seeing. Now the 2 rows is disappearing now. Why? Because drop na function is removing the NaN values. Fine. Now importing, exporting data between MySQL and Python and Pandas. MySQL is a database management system. I am not going to explain you each and everything about MySQL. If you are interested, you can learn. What I am going to do, I will send some link for you today. Gautami, are you able to listen? Following?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Please go through the link that I am going to share. Even it is not a big deal. MySQL is acquired by the Oracle company. MySQL was a open source software. Still it is a open source software, but under a proprietary company. That's why they are worried. Those who created for free, they are worried, and they created a alternative database for MySQL called as MariaDB. They created a MariaDB database based on MySQL. But we are not going to use that MariaDB. Directly we can use MySQL because MySQL Community Edition is free to download from the Oracle website. Just you tell that MySQL Community Edition download. Install it. Number 2, MySQL Workbench. What is that? Workbench, working bench, disk. The name of the software is that one. Please, that one also you install. And when it is asking you a password, when you are trying to install MySQL, it will ask you a root user password. Root user is the super user, the master user. In Unix system, the master user is called as root. In computers like Windows, it is called as administrator. There it is called as administrator. When you go home, please download MySQL Community Edition and install it. Root password you set, easy password, and remember. Otherwise, uninstalling the MySQL software will not remove the root password. Again, you install the old password, it will ask you. After that, I have to intervene, I have to remove everything, and a lot of work is there. That's why I am telling you, install MySQL. It will ask you a root username and password. Please try to remember whatever the password you type. Number 1. And another client software is there. It is called as, that is MySQL software, whatever you are installing is called as server. Behind the scene it is running. It is not visible. How to communicate with the MySQL database server? You have to install a software called as MySQL Workbench. That is also free to download. And now itself I can type you in WhatsApp, and you can install and prepare the system. ABCD I will tell you how to create some database, how to create database table, how to insert data. Something I will in a 30 minute I will explain you all. After that, we are going to connect our Python Pandas code with a MySQL server. Pandas code will be executed. It will communicate with which one? Server. MySQL server is altogether a different system. How it is possible to communicate? How can we pull out the data from a server? And how we can process results back? How can we write? This is something we call it as importing and exporting data from R to MySQL. Importing and exporting data from R to. If you recall CSV file, if you remember CSV, this is also somewhat external file we accessed. It is simply a text individual file. We didn't communicate with a system software. We are going to communicate with a software. That is our next lesson. That is, and briefly I am going to explain you. If you are deeply want to understand MySQL, you have to spend some time. I will give you introduction. Thanks for joining today. Hopefully we will meet tomorrow with the MySQL topic. Thank you.